Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to build a real-time dynamic order form with something that you see in almost every business applications. This is a form where you can add and remove multiple order line items as well. So we will also see that when an order is generated, it has multiple line items and how in Appian we can create this multiple line items grid. So here you will be able to see a form like basic details. For example, we can put here Steve and steve@email.com. After that, here you will be able to see order items, and this order item is going to be dynamic form here. So it is not an editable grid, so it is a custom grid, you can say, and all the details are completely dynamic here. For example, let's say I added a product. First of all, let's say that these are the list of the products and I needed a smartwatch. What is the quantity you have to give? And in this one here you will be able to see the item total. There is one item which is present in this line item, and it will be one line item, and here you can see the total amount as well. Let's say that you want to add another line item, so you just have to click on add item here, and here you will be able to add another line item as well. Let's say like I need 2 laptop stand, and in each line item you will be able to see the total of those particular line items, and at the bottom you will be able to see the totals as well. And you can dynamically remove particular rows as well. For example, I don't need a smartwatch, I can just go and remove this item as well. Now only laptop stand is left. Let's say like instead of that I want to add something else. Let's say gaming keyboard, I need 3 gaming keyboard here, and this is my total amount. Once you click on the submit the data, all this data is going to get submitted into the database. So if you go in the records here, and you will see that this is the order for Steve. First of all, a customer is getting created. Let me explain the flow here. First of all, a customer is there. Customer has done a order here. Now in the order there are multiple line items. For each customer one order will get created, and one order will have multiple line items. For example, in our case it was a smartwatch, it was keyboard and all. So if you go in the summary of this customer here, and here you can see the details of the customer, and this is the order that he has created. And after that, if you go in the orders here, you will be able to see multiple line items has been done. For example, a laptop stand, a keyboard stand, what was the total unit price here, all details are shown here. So we will see that how can we create this dynamic form where we can have multiple order items in a dynamic way. So I hope that this intro is clear to you. Now let's move to the database part. In the database part, the very first thing that you have to do here is you have to create a record for a customer. So here you can see a customer has just basic details like name, email, phone, and some audit fields here. After that, a customer will do an order there. Now for the order we have a customer ID, like this order belongs to which customer, what is the total amount of the order, what is the status of the order. And one order will have multiple line items for each line item. So here you can see a product is there in each order item. So here is the product ID, and this order line item belongs to which order, that is why order ID is there, and unit price is there, quantity is there, and total of that particular line item is. So these are the details. Now let's move on to our interface part. So in the interface part here, I have already created some basic details. For example, this is built on 25.2, so you don't have to worry about it. Just have to choose the template and it will appear here. So here you can see a template header is there, and a name is there, and we have a rule input as well, YT customer. So the name is saving to the name rule inputs, and then email is there, and then phone is there. After that, we have to start the creation of another section, that is the order items here. So here we will just create a section layout, and the label of the section layout is going to be here order items. And in the contents, now in the contents we are going to build this particular card here. If you see here, if I click on add item, then number of items just keep on increasing, and we can remove that particular rows as well. So whenever you have to create such kind of dynamic grid, first of all you have to create a separate UI for this particular part here. So what we will do here is we will create another interface which will contain this line item data, and then we will iterate over again and again. We will try to loop over that items. So here we will go in our designer, and here we will create line items, and just click on create here. Now here you can take a card layout, and in this particular card layout you can see like it has, now here you can see it is a 2 column layout. So we will go in our card layout, we will add another columns layout and one more time, and this is a 2 columns, so we will just keep it here 2 column layout. And after this, here you have to create the basic details. Now for example, the first field, which is going to be our product, so here you can see the products are there. So for the product, we will take a drop down here. So we will go in our design mode and just drop a drop down. Okay, after that it is a description, so description can be a paragraph field, so we will just drop a paragraph here. After that, quantity is there, quantity is integer, so we will drop a quantity. And after that, unit price is there, what is the price of that, so unit price can be decimal here. All the fields I have now populated. I just have to populate the values here. So for the drop down, you can see a list of product is showing here. So how can we get a list of product? Now for this one, we have a product table as well created here, which contains the details about the product. So here you can see name, description and price of the product are there, and some data are also present here. We have generated sample data with Appian AI itself, so all this data is already present. We just have to query this data here. So what we can do here is, first of all, let's try to local variables and we will try to query the product data. So just write here query record type, and the record type is going to be here YT product. So this is our product and we will get all the data as of now. So in our database we have 10 data, so I'm just getting that first 10 data here, data, that's it. Now we will go in our drop down field and let's configure this choice labels and choice value. So the label is going to be here local bank product, and then here we will just copy this product and paste it here. Label is going to be here product name, and then local bank product, and the values is going to be ID here. And now let's make sure that it is data. Now let's click on test once and you will be able to see all the data as well. Now let's change the labels to product here and value and save into as well. Now the value we have to write where this data is going to get saved here. So this is a line item. We have to create a rule input for our order line item. So here YT order, click on create here. Now here you don't have to worry about the array part here, that we will configure in parent interface. Now after this one, the value is going to be here RI bank order line item dot fields dot product ID, and in the save into same thing we have to just write. Now this is the save into. Now any product you are going to save, the data is going to save directly in our RI. Now let's move to the description part here. So description, you can see here, this is not going to save in the line item because line item doesn't have any description. Whatever the user have selected a product, based on that description will automatically populate. So here we will use display value function. So display value is going to be RI bank order line item dot fields dot product ID, and the array in which we are going to look for is local bank product, and then this is the product here, this is the product dot fields dot ID and the value that I want in return. So just copy it here and paste it, dot product dot description and otherwise null. Make sure that here you make here 2 integer, otherwise it can break as well. Okay, so this is the value, whatever you have selected, based on that it will automatically populate, and read only is going to be here true. Okay, so this description is done. Let me just configure these 2 particular part here. Now I have configured the quantity part here. After that, let's configure the unit price. Unit price is also going to be the display function only, because user cannot set a unit price for a particular product here. So instead of all this part will be same, instead of this one we will just get our price, that's it. So here whatever the product user have selected, based on that price will come up here, and read only is going to be here true. So now we are ready to configure this particular part in our parent interface as well. And let's just try to save this particular part. So first of all, you have to create a child interface which will be iterative in nature, because this particular thing is going to iterate again and again. Now after that, what you have to do, just copy this child interface, go to your parent UI, and here in this particular section you have to call this particular interface in a loop here. So you have to use for each items. Now since this is going to be a loop, you have to store the data into a variable as well. Local bank, you can say like line items. Now for each local bank line items it is, and then here in the expression we have to call our UI, and here order line item is going to be here FV bank item. So here you will be able to see that particular UI, but this UI is not visible because see what happens is this particular items is null or empty. If it is null or empty, nothing is visible. So we have to give a particular data, initial data, so that at least one line item should be always visible. So what data we should give it here? See, the data of this particular part is of what data type? It is of YT order line item. So we have to give the same here. What we will do here is just copy this particular YT record type here, reference, and here in make an array here, paste it this one, and instead of this just paste it like this. We just need a null record type here. Just click on test here and click on test, and now you will be able to see one line item. One item is now present here, so one time it has iterated. After that, any product you will select it here. Select a product, select a quantity, and you will be able to see the data gets populated in the parent UI as well. But you can see here only product ID and quantity is getting populated. Okay, we also need other details like when user has put a product and quantity, it should also calculate the total of that particular part. So here what we can do is we have to save the data of the unit price here. So just create a save here, and it will save into RI bank order line item dot fills dot total. And what we have to save here? So we have to save two things, two integer of quantity, copy this one here into, because the total price is going to be the multiplication of these two things. Two decimal you can select it here and paste, and it will be for unit price as well. And now unit price is populated when a product is selected here. So when a product is selected, you also have to save the unit price as well. So again we will take another save here, and the value that we want to save here is order line item dot unit price, and here we have to save the unit price. So for that one I am going to select display value, because see what is happening is when you select a particular product here, what happens that you have to save the unit price of the product. But how I will know which product I have selected? So this is the product ID, and for this for product ID, what is the unit price actually? So this is the unit price for that one. So what I can do here, I can use the display value, insert description, I will just keep the price part, and now anything I will select it here, the price is also going to come here as well, 29.99. So this display value is doing what? It is searching for that product ID in this product array, you can see, and then it is fetching the price here. This we can do with the where contents as well, but display value is a bit easier here. After this one, let's try to increase the quantity, and let's see that whether data is getting populated. See here, quantity is there, total is not yet populated. Okay, let me just refresh it here, click on test once. Let's test with null data here. Product is this one and quantity is 3. So here you can see 3 quantity and total is 269.97. Here we are able to see the data. After this one, we have to configure a remove and add line item as well. So before this one, here we can add a rich text display field, and in this rich text display field we will take a icon here to remove this particular line item. The icon is going to be here. So this is the item that we have taken. Let's set the color of this item as negative here, and it has to come in the right hand side. So I will align this one in the right side here, and it would be a link field as well, so it will have dynamic link. Let's also increase the size to, let's say, medium here, and save into. Now how to remove this particular line item? So in order to remove it, you have to save here where this data is getting saved. So local bank line items, we will save it, and then we will try to remove, use the remove function, remove the array from which you want to remove, is going to be this one, and the value that you want to remove is FP bank index here. If you click on this remove here, this value will get removed from this array. Let's click on test. But see, when it is just one line item, this icon should not show, because you cannot remove the only line item that is remaining here. Now we have to add a show when condition as well. We'll use here if count of local bank line item, if it is greater than 1, then only it should show, otherwise it should show false. So for the first one it won't show. And similarly at the bottom we need an add line item button here. So here we will take a button array layout, and in that we will take here buttons and then button widget. The label is going to be here add line item, and we will add an icon as well here. Okay, let's remove the add from here, and icon is going to be, let's say, plus. And here we will just use save into. What data it should save here? The value, we know that it has to save into this line item, so we will just give it here local bank line item. Now when I click on this plus icon, what is actually going to happen? A new value, a same form should appear again. It means that you have to append a new line item. So I will just write here append, and the array in which we have to append is line item. And what actually you have to append? Same thing which is configured here. Just copy this one and paste it here, and that's it. Click on plus line item here, and if you see that again another line item has been added here. And this particular button widget, let's try to align in the left hand side, so it will be at the start here, and we can decrease the size as well. Size is going to be small, and style we can just keep it as a link here. So here you will be able to see it is looking much better here. So you can remove the items from here, any item, and if you can want to save, that item can be saved as. So this particular form part has been ready here with all the items. Now the next important thing here is that when this form is submitted, one order is getting created here, one order, and inside the order multiple line items are getting created. How can we save this kind of data into the database? So first of all, we will create a rule input here for the order. So this is going to be our order here, YT order. This is our order, only one order, it won't be an array. Just click on create, and with the help of relationship, order has one-to-many relationship with the line items. With the help of relationship, we will add its line item as well. Now we will go in our button here, and in the button, when a submit button is pressed, then only these particular things are getting created here. So let's go in our submit button here, and in the submit button we will write the first save for the order here. So RI bank order is getting created, and how order will get created? We have to write the record type of order here, record type of YT order, and just give parenthesis here. What is the customer ID? Customer ID we are not aware as of now, because customer is not created. Total amount that we can make it here. Status we can give here as, let's say, status is initially pending here, fine. And when this was created by, so now created by is going to be here logged in user, and created on is going to be here now. Now what about the line items? So we just try to write here line item, and here you will be able to see that relationship is coming here, and just give that particular local variables here. And let's see that how does this actually work. So let's say that this is the customer, that is test here as well, product is this one, quantity is 2 here, and this is another product, and quantity is 3 here. Now when I click on the submit button, see that how order will get saved. First of all, it has added a status, created by, created on, and now it has added 2 line items because it is one-to-many relationships. After that we have to, okay, let's add a total amount as well. So after this section, and here we will create a total item. Now here I will just take a card layout, and in the card layout we will take 2 columns here. So this is a columns layout, and in this one we will take here 2 columns here. So this is a column layout, and this is going to be another column layout. Now these are the 2 columns layout. Now the contents of the first column layout is going to be here rich text, and the value of the rich text is going to be here rich text item, and the text is going to be here total. And here you can see the total amount is this one, total amount. We can write it here, and let's increase the size to medium here. So this is the total amount, and same rich text we will just use for our amount part as well. This is the amount, and here we have to show that particular amount here. So amount, how can we get it? So what we have to do here is we will create here local bank total amount. Total amount is basically sum of all the line items. So I will just use here sum, and I will use here local bank line items, and then record type bank YT order line item dot fields dot total. That is going to be our sum, and here in this particular part we will write here local bank total amount, and this one we can increase the size further to medium plus size, and this one we can align in the right hand side. So here you, whatever the quantity you have selected, let's click on test once and test this UI. So let's say first quantity is this one, and this is the price here. Here you will be able to see the total amount. Another product item we have added, and let's say 4 is there, and here you will be able to, once you click on submit here, all this data would be available here. Okay, we have to give this particular part as well test, and let's say test here. Click on submit, and all this data will get submitted along with the total. Now total is not getting saved here, so what we will do, we will go in the button here, and in the button total amount is there. So local bank total amount we have now saved here. So this time when you click on save here, total amount will also save. So now we have created a customer, a order is there, order line item is also now ready here. Click on save here. Now we have to move to the process part. In the process, what we have to do, so let's go in the process model, and here we will just write here create order. Click on create. Now click on the security part, save. Now this is our process model. Now let's go in the start node, go to the process start form, and here we will write here YT customer order form. Click on yes. So by default you will see that our cancel button is there, a customer rule input is there, and a order rule input. Click on OK, and after that let's click on create an XOR gateway here. If customer cancel the form, it should go to the end node here. So we will just take here end node as well. Now if customer didn't click on cancel, we have to save the data in the database. So write records are there, and another write record should also be required here, so we will just make a duplicate. That's it. And now let's chain everything as well. Chaining is there. First of all, we have to write to the customer here whenever user submitted the form. I will go in the setup tab, go to the records input, go to customer, go to data, and make sure that you take the output of the customer as well. That is very important because we will need the IDPK. So here we will write here write to order and line items. With the help of relationship, automatically Appian will write it. Go to setup, and order we have to select. But make sure that in the order, customer ID is not yet added as of now. So in this particular part, we are creating an order amount. So customer ID is not present. It can be null because customer ID is generating here in the process one. So when you are writing in the database, you have to use update here. The data that you need to update is this one. And why we are doing this update here while saving? Because we need customer ID in the orders. Let's write the index here. The index is going to be here record type YT order and dot fields dot customer ID. After that, the value is going to be, this is going to be our customer ID. Customer ID has been done. Click on OK, and here YT order is there. Click on OK. Make sure that in your order record type, it is related to one to many items here. If you see the relation here, in our relation, one order is part of multiple line items. Then only it will automatically write in the database. And now what we can do, let's just try to publish this process model. Oh, we have not configured the cancel, so let's configure the cancel button as well. Go to decision, add a decision here, or of EV bank cancel. Save and close. If cancel is true, then it will go to end, otherwise will go to write to customer. And now let's publish this process model, and we will see that how does it write in the database. Go to file and start process for debugging. Now here we have to give a name, so let's write it here, Tony, and tony@email.com. one product, let's say, is 1 TB of SSD. This is of 2 quantity, and then another we will add laptop stand. This is, let's say, like 5 is there, and another items we are going to add a smartwatch, 2 is there. That's it. So all these different quantity you will be able to see here. Here you will be able to see the total. Click on submit button. Once you click on the submit button, you can see here in the process history all this data will come. The customer was created with Tony and tony@email.com. Order has come up here. So you can see here one order was created and 3 line items are there with each total as well. Okay, after that you will see ID PK of customer got created and other items, and now this particular data would be present in our record as well. Tony is there, and this is the summary view of the Tony. Now let's go in the summary view for Tony. So this is Tony. Okay, and here you can see order ID has been created here. Go to that particular order, and now you can see here these are the 3 things that we have ordered here. All this particular part have been created. So this is kind of, you can say, mini POC. And don't worry about this summary part. You can easily create the summary part from the Appian as well. So you just have to go in the customer, go to the views part, then Appian will give you the option to generate the record view. So here in the Appian you will find this particular button, generate record view. Just click on that view, select all the fields, and your summary part will be ready here. Similarly, you go to the order part and your customer summary view would be ready, whatever you are seeing here. And similarly, you have to go to the orders, go to the views part here, and in the view part just click on generate record view, choose all the related records, and your summary view would be ready as well. Both of these one you select it here, and you can see one order is there and order line items are, everything Appian will automatically create it. So in this tutorial we have learned that how can we create multiple line items. We don't even have to depend on editable grids every time. If different requirement is there, we can go ahead with this kind of line items interfaces as well. And then we have seen that how can we save the data into the related records as well. In the UI as well, we have tried to form the related data here. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful to you. So that was all for now, guys. Thank you.